Tune in to Raising Wisdom, where we embark on a journey of enlightenment and introspection. Get ready to elevate your understanding, embrace life's challenges, and unlock the true potential of your being. Welcome to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free, with Nico and Shawnee Poos, Wednesdays at 8.
Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Hi, Robert.
Oh my God. That's just how I gotta enter the room. Like, I can't just step in. It gotta be something.
It's always gotta be
I was
something.
watching you the whole time. I was just like,
you're sending the invite. I'm canceling it and trying to accept it. I'm like, wow, okay. It's just trying to sabotage us.
We're requesting at the same time. We getting old.
Oh my gosh, it is a time. I cannot wait to talk to y'all today. Shawnee, I've been waiting to talk to you all doggone week. Welcome back to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free.
Wisdom is free tonight.
Oh my gosh. Welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good time, a good week thus far. You had a good weekend. I hope you guys were practicing your affirmations. What up, bro? It is here we embark on a journey of enlightenment and introspection. Together, we will navigate the complexities of life, seeking the elusive wisdom that enriches our minds and souls. So get ready to elevate your understanding, embrace life's challenges, and unblock the true potentials of your being. Okay. High vibrations once again. I'm your girl, Nico.
And I am your favorite podcast host, Shawnee, from the Shawnee View.
Thank you for joining us again, everybody. I don't know about you, my fellow Tauruses out there, my fellow Scorpios out there, placements. But I am having a time. I am having a time. This Venus retrograde is kicking my hind parts. Shawnee, could you please shed some light on what is going on?
Let's see. The phase of the moon that we are currently in, which actually began tonight, like probably a few hours ago, is the waning crescent. That means the moon is getting darker, so it's getting smaller. So this is a time, I think every phase is a time to reflect. But this one is a time to reflect on personal growth. What else? It's a time for self-care and surrendering. So it's a flowy mood.
So you said a time for personal growth, a time for self-care?
Yes, self-care and surrender.
Okay. That makes
like not go against the grain. Just go with the flow. What else? It's a time to declutter. Not only mental space, but physical space.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? And cleanse. And I just so happen to be doing one right now.
Okay, that's amazing. I'm so glad. That really does give me some type of perspective, along with what do we have, like that super moon, full moon in Aquarius.
There's so much going on.
It's 1,000 planets in retrograde, and goodness gracious. But we have come back. We are alive and well, and I'm happy to be back.
Yeah.
What we are talking about tonight is healing childhood trauma. So let's have some fun.
All right.
Go get your tea and your snacks and your tissue if necessary, because
I don't know how much fun you can have.
I know,
about
right?
trauma.
Girl, we got gotta laugh at it.
I see what kind of jokes I could pull from that, but I'm gonna try to tread light, sensitive.
Well, we did some healing from it. So for those of you who don't know or haven't dived into your childhood healing, childhood trauma situation, let's see here. It's pretty much defined as something that caused you harm, emotional harm, physical harm, some type of devastation that happened within your childhood, whether it be abuse, what were the other points?
Whether
Physical abuse,
physically
emotional
abuse, yeah, emotional and mental.
Yeah, and mental. Stresses that you've pretty much been holding on to. And we have something called that inner child. And sometimes our inner child can be hurt and damaged because of childhood trauma. And we find ourselves like going through life, everything seems good and well. And then at some points of times, like things can feel like you're not moving and stuck, or maybe like you're in a loop. The same type of things keep happening over and over and over again. And that could very much well be due to unhealed childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're addressing in Raising Wisdom this week.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
It's deep.
Yeah, it is. So now that we know what childhood trauma is, when we're speaking about healing childhood trauma, first and foremost, we need to be aware that we need to be aware of it, of the trauma that even needs to be healed in the first place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think some people walk around with it and they just mad at the world. In denial. Yeah.
Everybody else's fault that my life is going this way. If it's bad, but if it's good, I did it myself. Like
Right.
But yeah, talking about childhood trauma, I have to say, like, I have to give a trigger warning on it. Bless you.
Thank
I have
you.
to give a trigger warning on it because it's such a sensitive topic. Like, usually I'm like, joking and playing and stuff, but this is like real.
Yeah.
Because you don't know like what level that someone may be on in their journeys. Like you said, some people, they may not even know that they've been holding on to childhood trauma. They just think this is just how, I'm like this. But it was something that was actually impressed upon them at an early age.
So you got to gain awareness on what happened and the impact that it's had on the person that you become thus far, for sure.
Yeah. So,
I know I had to heal some childhood trauma.
Would you like to share that with us?
Y'all want to know my crazy? Yes. Let's get into it. Absolutely. I had daddy issues, abandonment issues and stuff. Girl, I had a time during my doggone come up.
How did you deal with it, and then give us the backstory on it? Like,
all right.
Come to a place of healing.
I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I got tired of being tired. Well, okay. So the first question was, how did I come to a place of healing?
Yeah.
Okay. So, y'all forgive me. I'm letting all of our viewers know what we're talking about.
Right.
So if you can just give me one moment and I will give you all of the rest of my attention.
She's the admin and everything. Like, I'm gonna start helping out more. I'm gonna start holding up. I'm acting like I'm just here on her show. Like, we together in this. All right. You got it. You good at this stuff, so I'll let you do it.
I am the pen. That was one of my childhood favorites. Peter Pan, what? I wanted to go where he was going. Shoot. So how did I again come to a place of healing? Well, yeah, I got tired of being tired. It seemed like I was attracted to the same kind of guy. Mm-hmm. Every time me and my father would talk, it was awful. It was a tornado, so negative and ugly. And I would be broken because of it.
Right.
In shambles. My whole life is just, it would mess me all up. I'd be thrown into depression. And all of that, girl, it was a hot ghetto mess.
So you think that the issues that you had with him, it like rolled over into your personal life with like relationships?
Oh yeah,
or
absolutely. Yes, it absolutely did. Because first I had to recognize that my father was the first person, and no shade to my father. I love my pops. We have a great relationship now, due to those good old boundaries. Okay. But previously, you know, I got to talk about it because maybe it'll help someone else. But yeah, it did roll over into my relationships. Because my pop was the first person to break my heart. You know what I'm saying? So in a young lady's life, it's really important that she has her father. And when you don't have that, or a male figure that can be that role model into what you should look for in a man, how a man should treat you, how a man should talk to you,
right?
You know, all of those things. Your first teacher is your father,
right?
And he wasn't a good teacher. So that rolled over because I was trying to figure things out for myself, and then that didn't really pan out well, because trying to understand and learn men without no handbook is a difficult task.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
For sure. So, of course, that rolled over into my relationships and stuff like that, with how I would, the type of things what I would allow. My father would talk to me crazy. So, and I would feel so disrespected, you know what I'm saying, and feel like I have to be on defense all the time, you know. So the guys that I was attracting would have great qualities in them, you know, like my father and everything. However, they would have something going on, like a little ticker, a little itch, a crazy. And and I wasn't understanding why I kept on running into the same type of, not the same type of guy, but the same formula.
Right. Right.
You know, So
when you did that research or whatever, like, that's what you discovered, was that it came from daddy issues?
What, as far as those relationships,
like,
and stuff?
just attracting the same negative that you don't want. Do you think that is a result?
Absolutely. Yes, I do, because that was my first teacher, along with the men that would show up in my life or did not show up. My example, my whole fairy tale situation, okay? I was chasing a family, the family aspect for so long. Until I was just like, what am I yeah, what exactly is it that I'm looking for?
Right.
You know,
Right.
I wanted something I didn't have and all of those things. But when it came to a point where it's like, I have to heal from this or I'm going to self-destruct, is
Right.
when I was allowing I was allowing my boundaries to be crossed in a way that was affecting my kids. It was affecting my health. It was affecting my environment, and I was not able to move forward. So that's, I wrote the book Reset. Let me show
Right.
y'all. Hold on.
Right. It's bright.
Reset. I don't know. Some of you guys have
I
seen
like
this, but I wrote this.
that.
Huh?
Reset is a really good one.
Reset.
To
It's a
start
workbook.
with.
I'm sorry, babe.
Reset is a good workbook to start with if you have not started your journey on healing.
Thank you very much. This has helped a lot of people, and I wrote it during my healing process. It's called Reset,
Mm-hmm.
a workbook journal.
Mm-hmm.
Reclaiming your power after narcissistic abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be due to narcissistic abuse, but that is definitely the type of trauma that I suffered from, that I was a victim of, and almost became a part of the problem, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to my healing, something had to change because I was not moving forward in the way that I wanted to go forward.
Right.
Like, I wasn't moving in the direction that I wanted to move into because I had unhealed childhood trauma. Welcome to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. We're talking about healing childhood trauma for everybody that came in. Thank you so much for joining us. So yeah, babes, that was like where I was like, enough is enough. I want to feel something different. I don't like how this is shaping me.
Mm-hmm.
If I stay here, I'm not going to be able to move forward. I don't like being depressed. What am I not getting?
Right.
My emotional intelligence is failing. I'm becoming something I don't want to be. You feel me?
Yeah.
I hope that answers your first question on how I came to.
You did. You answered the question, definitely. I know, I like asking questions. I like sharing my stories and stuff too, but I say that for the Shawnee view. But I like asking questions. So with this particular topic, that's probably what I'm going to do for this episode.
Well, and that's a good thing because I use me. I'm an open book. I am very much transparent because where I am now is just so dope. Like, it's cool.
Right.
If it can.
That was my question, actually. All right. So,
yeah.
Even though you were dealing with these childhood traumas or whatever, you still knew, like, you were uncomfortable because you knew who you really were. Like, it's a specific person that was like fighting to get out. So you want to heal and get to that. Like, you got to talk to that inner child. Did you do that?
Yes. You kind of have to, you kind of have to mother your inner child.
Yeah. Yes.
If that makes sense.
All over again.
All over again. Yeah. You got to mother your inner child.
Yeah.
And so I did recognize that.
Right.
Of course, I was on the journey that I'm on, and the path that I was led to gave me tools to be able to know that that's a step that I need to take in order to start my process on like healing childhood trauma. So essentially, like I would tell people, right, when you're starting this journey, you may be embarrassed because of some things that's taken place in your life that you're not necessarily proud of due to acting out of that childhood trauma is unhealed. You've been out here being reckless, you know,
Right.
making moves that your higher self would not approve of and did not approve of. Reason why you're even at the place where you're thinking like, I got some problems that I need to face, you know.
Reality check.
Some reality checks.
Yeah.
For
myself,
sure.
Okay, so with talking to or nurturing your inner child or whatever, so I was not really aware of when or where or how, but I do believe that everybody has experienced some type of childhood trauma. It may not have been as severe as another person's, but everybody has experienced it. So I didn't know when, where, how, all that. So what I did, and I felt so good afterwards.
What you did,
just different times, I went all the way back to birth, right? Which is crazy because my first memory is like my parents taking me to like visit my grandmother. But anyway, I went back to that. I went back to that. And then I told the baby, like, whatever it is that I felt that the baby probably needed to hear at that time. So then I would fast forward to like maybe 4 or 5. Like, hey, little Shauna, like, you have to start school and this and that, you know? So then another time frame, I'd say like maybe I just keep going up until probably this age. So I did the re-nurturing thing all over again for different ages. Because I'm like, I don't know what happened and when, but whatever it is,
let's start from the get from it.
Let me go and tell this girl what's going on. Like,
so let me ask you a question. So did you do this through this process? Did you do it through journaling or did you do it through meditation? What was your way of speaking to baby Shauna?
So I think that what's crazy is I actually started out like journaling, but to my kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Like, this is your story. This is your story. You know, like the goods, the cons and the pros and cons of their personalities and lives and all that. But then I was like, let me talk to little baby Shauna right quick. Like, so it was more of a mental thing. Like, I didn't journal that part. But afterwards, I just felt like after the first little baby one, I was like, ooh, hold on, I think I feel a little bit of effects from that. Like, let me do another age. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's really smart to do, to go back into it that way. I think I went to just certain incidents. I was like, I remember this and that really bothered me. What would I say to myself? Okay, so, and how does this show up in my life now? Am I reenacting that, you know?
Right.
Am I becoming that monster that I used to be scared of?
Right.
You know, stuff like that. Stuff like that I think is what helped me with nurturing my childhood trauma. And of course, my sons too, because I'm like, I want to do, of course, we want to be, as we should, be better than our parents. And we want our children to be better versions of us.
Each generation should be
better
than the prior. Like,
absolutely.
No shade or disrespect, but
yeah, of course.
But the growth of the family. You know, you don't want
to
go backwards. Like, you want your family to go on and continue doing great things. So you gotta shed all the crazy stuff.
Yes. I think it's a tribute to your legacy, you know, which goes into reasons for healing your childhood trauma is to break those generational curses, yo. You know, that lives in your DNA. And until somebody breaks the cycle, which I think our generation is doing a very good job at.
Leaps and bounds. I don't know where that saying came from. Leaps and bounds, like galloping.
That, yes, all of that. Okay, who said prayer got me through it and still does? Absolutely, lots of that. Whatever you pray to, however you pray.
Prayer is the starting place. Like, as far as in the Black community, I could speak for, but I'm not sure with everybody else. But it's always said, go on and pray, or I'll pray for you. It's prayer. Prayer is always the start, and once you get to that point, okay, that's the only type of humble that I really that I'm really with, because I know that inherent feeling or that connection with me and, you know, God, I can be humble for that, because I know it's a lot of stuff that I have to, you're going to learn all day, every day for the rest of your life, because life is a learning journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have prayer. That's the first step. Then you can do meditation and everything else is going to start coming to you.
Mm-hmm. So with that too, right? So we got prayer, we got meditation, we got acknowledging that there's something for us to be healing, right? Now we on the healing journey by journaling and doing all these things that will aid us in being able to go back into time and nurture those wounds, you know, that are still very much open, or you wouldn't be having all these crazy problems that keep reoccurring and attracting, you know, these things that have been visible in your life since of young. So now you have to model healthy behavior. You have to, you know, as far as changing the cycle to be able to break these generational curses, you got to move different and exhibit healthy behavior on purpose, intentionally.
That you have to be intentional. I have another question. So with the daddy issues, fast forward to you being an adult and you understand, like, okay, this stuff is coming from that. Was there ever a point where you began to reframe the narrative as far as the daddy issues? Like, as a kid, you thought that, I don't know y'all's relationship, but as a kid, you had a different perspective. But now, as an adult, you have a different understanding of that narrative, so you don't take it as personal as you did as a
yes, of course. Well, you know, as you get older and wiser, if you're paying attention enough to higher self, then you'll have the blessing to be able to get wiser, so that you're not making the same mistakes. And you know, growth happens. So for me, Pop is also a whole grown man, and he has had a past and traumatic things that has happened in his childhood, and how did that affect him, you know, in his time, and did he ever heal from it? Did he ever do anything about it? How has that shaped him to be the man that he is today? And how can I still have a relationship with him without those things being addressed?
Like, you want to have a functioning
relationship. A healthy relationship. So now I have to exhibit healthy behavior. And that's where that came into play, because now you almost have to parent your parents on how you want to be treated and
Yeah.
how you should be dealing with things. No disrespect. But that's how I got through it. I had to see him as not just my pop, but as a man, and
Right.
what he went through and how that shaped his life, and what kind of father he ended up being because of that, and the decisions that he made because of where he is.
Right.
Not making excuses for him.
Right.
Not making any excuses for him, but just being understanding, having emotional intelligence, as we spoke of last, and setting boundaries, and again, kind of just having to kind of parent your parent. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to learning how to have healthy boundaries and a healthy conversation, and hey, that's not okay. I'm not really cool with that. I'm not comfortable with that. Or hey, like, I respect you, but I'm not really feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Without being disrespectful.
And actually have them receive what you're saying.
Yes. That's how we got to this point. That is how we got to this point where, like, now we have a great relationship. It's like, what's up, Pop? There's no tears. There's no throwing of the phone. Because golly, yo. Oh.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that would be the before and after. Before the healing and after healing.
Right.
And sometimes, because of course, like, as we go throughout our journey, we're always healing from something. Okay.
Right.
But I won't say it's completely healed, but
right, because it's
not
a long-term journey, right?
Yeah, it's a long-term journey. You know what I'm saying? But it's going in the right direction for all the right reasons, and that is a start of breaking that curse, breaking those generational curses, and having healthy boundaries and exhibiting healthy conversation and healthy behavior to change the narrative of it from being trauma to like heal.
You have healthy conversations with like other like-minded individuals. Is like, would you? Because some people, they still fear therapy. I am an advocate for counseling and therapy, like, forever. I'm always gonna be an advocate for that.
Yes. And some people are like, I don't want to talk to no stranger about my problem. Shoot, why not? Why not? What?
Right.
They can't tell your business. And my dog, me and my therapist has had a time.
The people don't know you.
But from nothing. You finna get all this smoke. I'm ugly crying and everything.
You mentioned earlier about like depression. Some people may not be aware that they're depressed, and they just probably think something is wrong with them because they just can't be happy like everybody else. Like, that comes from childhood. I don't think that's necessarily from childhood trauma though, because things still happen to us as we get older.
I think like okay, so breaking the silence on whatever has traumatized you. And speaking about it. Openly. You create a space within yourself to where you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable and to be broken.
Yeah.
So that you can put the pieces back, or not, or just dump all the pieces out. I am for that. I am all those broken pieces and gluing them and piecing them back together. Sometimes you just need to get the broom and a piece of paper, whatever you use in your household. I like to use a dustpan in these days of my life. And throw it in the trash and just try to rebuild something else and start over. So breaking the silence will allow you to feel empowered and a weight be lifted to where you're not in that dark place and depressed. And, you know, you can, of course, begin your journey of healing your childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, what you think about that, though?
I think that sometimes whatever your childhood trauma is, I don't know who gave that word trauma. Anyway, whatever.
You and these words.
I know. I don't know. I need to learn like the origin of all of these words that I don't.
The etymology.
I need to know because they just don't sit right with me. But anyway, so sometimes whatever that childhood trauma may be for you, I think that may actually be your strength. Like if you're not vulnerable with it in accepting that that's what it is, and being open to it, and like you said, rebuilding from it. Like you can reroute it into a strength and not be ashamed of it or afraid of it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I know. I understand what you mean. So using not using your pain as a crutch, but using it as your fuel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's kind of what we're doing now with the show. Talking to other people because you don't know what other people have experienced or what they are experiencing, and they may need to hear it from a certain somebody, and then they're like, you know what? I have always thought about this, so that's what it was, and then they go get help.
Yeah.
So
I was told by a couple of people that our show has helped them, which was like, really? That's so wonderful. That's what we were trying to do in the first place. Why, thank you. We'll be back Wednesdays at 8. High vibrations.
That's good. That's really good to hear.
Yeah. Everybody that's coming in, welcome to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. We are talking about healing childhood trauma. So I looked up the etymology of the word trauma, and it is from the late 17th century, a Greek word that means wound.
The 1700s, I feel like it was just a lot of...
It was like having in the 1700s. Okay. So let's see, because you know, for Shawnee, we have to provide a plethora of words, okay? Because she may not be feeling comfortable with said word, i.e., so this week's word is trauma. So we're gonna see some synonyms for the word trauma. Okay. Ooh. So synonyms for trauma: injury, damage, hurts, wound, wounding, sore, bruise, cut. I mean, but if you think about it, when these awful things happen, some bigger than others, because some people have some real traumatic childhood trauma, like some real sexual abuse, physical abuse, like emotional abuse, or being either a witness or a victim to it, like way more people than could even who don't break the silence. It's a lot of silence. It's a lot of secrecy going on within a lot of generations concerning these type of traumas, and nobody speaks about it because you know that it's not a thing to talk about, or trying to protect the family, or
that's
you
what
know.
I want to say next. They don't want to embrace the family.
But we're trying to be empowered, and in order for us to be empowered, we got to talk about it. We gonna have to talk about it, and I believe that Raising Wisdom is a wonderful platform for us to be able to to do that, because we are on a journey to righteousness, to success, to healing, to wisdom, to have wisdom, because when we have wisdom on our side, we are winning. For sure.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
I like that. So look at you come down. Y'all write that down. When you have wisdom, I'm gonna bit my tongue. Got excited. When you have wisdom, you are winning. I was doggone bit the whole side of my doggone tongue. You know how you get excited and saliva? It was a lie. I know y'all saw it, but
Yeah, you was really excited.
We live, okay? But I'm editing that out if y'all see that on YouTube on me.
Edit that part. We put the commercial on that part.
We're going to put the commercial on that one. Hey.
Luxuriate in plant-based skin and hair care for naturally glowing and lustrous results. Indulge in luxurious soaps, massage oils, body butters, and so much more. Get 15% off your first order. Also, explore our amazing literature that will help you navigate within your journey. Make sure you stay up to date with our weekly blog that has a plethora of information concerning health and wellness. Natural Sakari, be the natural you.
So with healing childhood trauma, breaking the silence, then you have a sense of empowerment, and you start to build resilience.
Right.
And I think with that resilience, you have your boundaries, which boundaries provides a barrier for you to be able to protect your peace.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Okay. Do you think that, well, okay, I'll say this. Some people go throughout their life not checking their childhood trauma ever in life at all, period. Right? And of course, that cycles over and through our DNA. This is a scientific fact, how this, it creates these generational curses and things of that nature. So, being that, this higher self, spirit, whatever you identify with, has informed you, you were wise enough to say, okay, there was a problem concerning childhood trauma and everything. And I have to fix this problem.
Right.
And you fix the problem, you heal from it, and you're just that person. You're that black sheep. You are that person that is a little more spiritual than everybody else. You see things, you recognize them, you always strive to be the best version of yourself. Do you feel, understanding that you have a responsibility to help others identify what their childhood trauma, like that they could too heal from childhood trauma?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Yes, I do.
Enlighten us.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I feel that it is a personal responsibility of mine to at least help people to be self-aware. Like, I may not be able to, and people may not even listen to everything that I have to say or take that advice and apply it to their lives, but there's somebody like at church, even if it's just one person. I'm like my little one follower. Like, I'm fine with that, because if it's helping them to be a better person, then they're going to pass it on and pay it forward to somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's just going to keep going from there. So, yeah, I feel it's a personal responsibility. I mean,
I do too.
That's in the tagline of my podcast. Like, the purpose of my podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, self-aware.
Hmm.
Because everybody, all right, let's say that you do have, like, a close-knit circle. You got a close-knit family and all of that. I want to say I said this on the last episode. Only you know yourself. So how you gonna walk around? How you gonna walk around not knowing yourself?
Just lost.
But you want other people to tell, like, you're giving other people the power to tell you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you've been drugged all over the place. Like, one
girl, just an empty vessel.
Don't let a dog walk you. Like, don't. You don't. Like,
out here getting dragged.
No. So you got to be self-aware. So I'm going to tell people that any person that will listen, I'm going to say, hey, be self-aware. Like, if I don't say it in those words, I'm gonna show you how to be self-aware. Like, by applying it to my life. So,
yeah, being that example.
Mm-hmm.
Being that example. I see you. I'm a light and I'm an example to others. That is one of our affirmations.
Yeah.
If you're not hip, please write it down. Okay. So you too can be a light and example to others.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's real though. You take your power back by doing that too.
Yeah.
You don't become the victim and just living your life as a victim. Like, you take your power back, so you know that you him, you her.
Yeah.
You know, with all your mess, the good, the bad, and all of it. You take your power back, and I think that's how that resilience is built as well. When you know yourself, you get to know who you are and treat the good. And
resilience is inevitable. Like, when it comes to just opening up and being vulnerable, like, at least with this, you're going to know how to function and how to heal yourself. Mm-hmm. You're going to heal when you're being vulnerable. Like, you're not just going to be out open like that, but you're still going to have some type of guarding going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talked about that too with guarding your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what? Because it's dangerous out here in these streets. It is dangerous. Mm-hmm. It's dangerous out here, and it's even the veil is being lifted all the time. So it is not a wise thing to put your heart out on your sleeve. You're going to get drugged out here, you know, and that type of vulnerability is just not safe. So these types of situations, these types of topics that we're speaking on, healing childhood trauma, is for you. You know, it's for your empowerment. It's for you to knock down those blockages. Because I know for me, that was a blockage in my life.
Yeah.
Having unhealed childhood trauma.
That's a blockage in a lot of people's lives.
It is. You over here having a whole tantrum like you 5. You need to go back to when you was 5 and figure out what it was that got you reacting like this. You know, talking like this, not even being vigilant, you know, being impulsive and all of these reckless things that's not hurting anybody but you.
Some people, they do understand their childhood trauma, but they don't want to do anything about it. Like, they're just like, well, I'm like this because this happened to me when I was this age. Well,
you think they know how, though? Do you think they know how or what to do? So I don't think people know what to do.
They may not necessarily know what to do, but they are aware of it, but they're not trying to get any help for it. They just like, well, I'm bitter because so-and-so did this to me when I was this age, or so-and-so said that to me at this
age. So using it as a crutch in order to continue with their shenanigans, not being accountable or responsible for their own actions.
And then always want to pull the victim card every time. Like, all right, we all know that would, everybody want to be sensitive to whatever that trauma is, but then it's like, all right, we all know what happened, but I mean, we got to move on from it. It's not to say that trauma is invalid, but we still growing and living. Like, life is still passing by. You gotta moving. So yeah. I have so much to say about that, but it's
oh my gosh, I know this. Listen, Shauna, do you see what time it is? I can't even believe it. I knew we was gonna have us a doggone time with this topic. I'm so upset, y'all. It's almost time for us to go. However, so what would you suggest to our viewers who may recognize that they have childhood trauma, but not necessarily know how to go about doing anything about it? Like, what would be your top 5 things to do to begin your journey to heal childhood trauma?
Top 5 to begin after you're already aware?
Yes.
All right.
After you're already aware.
Top 5 real fast. It's a long-term journey. It's not something that it's not a one and done. It's a continuous journey every single day. Sometimes you may not feel like getting up that day, but be graceful with yourself and just understand that it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, and the right people around you. Long-term journey. Get counseling and or therapy. You want to get professionals, because even though we may be like-minded, I may not be a professional. I don't know how to diagnose you with whatever you're going through. Recognize the effects. You don't want to continue this. You want to change it. Go ahead. Do what you got to do to change it. Understand the impact that it may have had on your development and go back and fix it. And then the last thing is have that inner child healing. Talk to that little kid. Stop blaming your parents and everybody else. You be your own parent now and do better than they did. And be that better parent for your own kids as well. So
yeah,
that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Shani. Y'all got your steps. On Raising Wisdom, we want to promote incentives and things to do in order for all of us to be the best version of ourselves, in a state of healing all the time. So that we can recognize wisdom when wisdom is talking to save us from the shenanigans.
Please save us from the shenanigans. That is not what you want.
I suppose I'll close out
with some
affirmations. We cannot have enough affirmations. I feel like they should just be piled on top of each other, and you should put them all in a jar, and you should just pick out 3 a day and just say them and put them back. And it's like your little lottery situation. It's cute. Like, I think I might do that for real. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good idea, because I be in the mirror like I'm doggone numb your whole ring and kill. Boy, I be reciting them. Reciting them affirmations to try to change my life, y'all. Yes. So this is your third eye chakra, and I want us to concentrate this week on our root chakra and our third eye chakra. There's a lot of
That's the pineal gland.
That's your pineal, your pineals.
I never know how to pronounce that word.
Your pineals, your pineals, your pineals. Okay? Here, your third eye. And so here, I absolutely love Queen Po. I follow her religiously. And I still say these affirmations that she suggested. And so there's one for the for your chakra here, and it is, I am divinely connected and discerning. So, and it's okay. I know you might feel corny, but it's okay to touch it. You can touch it when you say it. I am divinely connected and discerning. So consistently reminding yourself that you are a part of source, and there's nothing that you cannot, there's nothing that you can't fight. There's nothing that you can't do without source, without the higher power, without however you refer to your God, the Most High, in which whom you serve or you feel connected to. Because I'm not going to play semantics, but y'all know what I mean.
Don't be getting us banned from IG.
Okay. They're gonna be like, they
started.
going too deep. They going too deep.
Just getting started.
It's just our third episode. Y'all don't mind us. Y'all gonna get these laughs. Okay.
On that.
No, we not. Okay.
You don't
We gonna
have to.
I don't think I got any commercials for that. But listen, y'all, and the other one, so we're dealing with our pineals here. For that chakra and that mantra or that affirmation that you can recite to yourself, your third eye chakra. And we also want to focus on the root chakra, because the root chakra, you know, that's where we feel grounded. That's where our security lies. And, you know, sometimes when you're feeling unstable due to unhealed childhood trauma and things of that nature, you don't get the balance that you need in order to be able to clear out those blockages and move on to your next pinnacle point. So I don't know how comfortable y'all are, you know, with touching your root chakra. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Not while we on live.
I couldn't help myself. Okay, but no. So you would say, I am safe, I am guided. I am safe, I am guided. So for your third eye chakra, you would say, I am divinely connected and discerning. And for your root chakra, you would say, I am safe, I am guided. And those are the affirmations that I have for this episode of Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free. Shauna, do you have anything else for us, babe? I'm so sad that we got to go and feel like that hour just flew by.
I have nothing else.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us once again. And please come back to us. We are here Wednesdays at 8 on IG Live. We do have some surprises coming up for you guys, so stay tuned. And come back to Raising Wisdom, where wisdom is free.
Good night.
Good night. Love you, girl. Love you guys. Thanks for coming back.